Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's workshop. We're going to be going over step two of my superfan strategy. Step one is dialing in on your unique, authentic artist brand. When you work with me or in my course, there is a workshop for this that we use to create an outline of your brand that guides all of your content and it guides everything that I'm about to go over. So you want to make sure that you are very, very clear on what your brand is and how you want to be presenting yourself to your fans and followers, because when you don't have that dialed in, it can be confusing for people. People need consistency. People need to really understand what you're about. So getting clear on your brand is crucial. That is step one of this entire strategy. But today we're going into step two, okay? The reason this is step two, the reason that optimizing your Instagram for follows comes before learning how to make viral content is because when you go viral, it's like this. You're like this and then you come back down really quickly. So that's a very short moment of time for you to capitalize on all of those eyes on you. If you're not ready for that influx of eyes, you're gonna miss the moment, okay? So there's nothing worse than going viral and people coming to you getting hundreds of thousands of eyes on your page and only getting 10 follows because they come to your page, they don't understand who you are, your brand isn't clear, and they leave without ever pressing the follow button or maybe going to your link in bio or maybe even following through on the call to action and opting into your email list. All of these things you want to have set up so that potential fans come to your page and they have no option but to press follow because they're enamored with you and they feel connected to you and they feel like they know you just through the simple steps that I'm about to walk you through. So this is one of my clients, Stephanie. I'm just using her as an example here. So these are the steps of optimizing your Instagram for follows. You're going to want to look at first your username, then you're going to want to look at your photo, then you're going to want to look at your bio, then your link in bio, and then your top 3 pinned posts. Okay, so first, your username should just be your name. Don't make it confusing for people. You want people to know right away, this is my name. They can go look it up on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. Obviously your band's name would also work here if you're a band over an independent or over just an artist figure. That's really easy. So step 2 is your headshot, right? So you're gonna wanna make it memorable. Choose a mood, right? Are you ethereal and mysterious? Are you serious and sexy? Are you the girl next door? Are you bachelor energy? Are you Family Guy energy? So you want to think about all of those things. What is so here you're getting the brand, right? What mood is your brand? And you want to make sure that you bring that through with the photo that you choose. You do not want to choose your photo. Do not want to change your photo very often because people start to connect when they see that little circle and they see that photo of you and they know it's you without ever having to look at the name. So people start to associate you with that photo. So you don't want to change it very often. So choose wisely and stick with it I'm not going to tell you for a year or whatever. Just don't change it very often. Okay, so number 3 is your bio. Your bio is huge. I think this is maybe the most important factor of when people land on your page if they're gonna follow you. So if your bio is just your show dates and that you have a new song coming out or a new album coming out next month, boring. So boring. Remember, y'all, as an artist, you are an entertainer. You are here to entertain people. So your bio needs to entertain, right? It needs to show people, maybe instead of it needs to entertain, it needs to show people how you entertain, right? So I like to call it the thesis statement of your brand. Once you are very clear on the different pillars and the contradictions within your brand, you need to write a very short sentence that preferably fits in that first 1 or 2 lines that gives people a quick punch thesis statement of what your brand is all about. So scroll back up here to Stephanie here. We went through my branding workshop, which is in my course, together, and came up, she's got very like big sister energy, and like younger women often come to her for advice. And she says she's like often surrounded by young women. I mean, she's also a young woman, but younger, like 20 somethings. Her music it's Americana, but the lyrics are not woe is me or he's done me wrong. The lyrics are very empowering. They're about growth and transformation. She is, dabbles in womb healing and women's retreats. So we came up with this bio, Cosmic Auntie dropping Americana Gold to heal your soul. Okay, like you're going to come to her page, you're going to read that. You know exactly what her vibe is. You're entertained by that. Cosmic Auntie, boom, that's a hook right there. That is catchy. That makes me lean in. Okay. Across the board on Instagram and social media, like that first split second, that first thing that they read, if that is hooky, if that is catchy, if that makes them lean in, you're doing it right. Okay, so you never want to waste the first few words. The first few words need to be punchy, and Cosmic Auntie is a perfect example. All right, moving on. So then you have your link in bio. You should just have one link. Please just use one link, like Linktree or BioSite, or you could pay for something like StanStore, which has email capabilities and purchasing capabilities and funnel capabilities and all the things that we need when we intend to create a business front through our social media. Your link in bio should have 4 posts in it. So you click on it and it's just one link, and then it opens up the page and it should have these 4 posts. If you are selling something, which is the end goal of everything within the Superfan strategy, is for you to be selling something, you often see, or sometimes, I wouldn't even say it's often, you occasionally see artists with a Patreon. If you have something like a Patreon, that should be the first thing they see when they open your link in bio, okay? If you're not selling, you're not selling. The more you sell, the more you sell. See what I mean? If you really, truly want to make sales, like put it in their face. It should be the first thing that they see. Okay, the second thing should be a link to a long form video on your YouTube that's titled something like My Story. It should be, it could be 5, 10, 20 minutes of you being interviewed, or some sort of well put together video that really fully introduces you and your story, not just in a minute, but like the whole thing. So that you can really start to go deeper with people, and people can start to go deeper with you, I guess is what I should say. Step 3 or link 3 should be a Spotify or Apple Music link, or both, labeled something like everyone's favorite song that I've released. Okay, so that's a hook right there. Every time you title anything, it's a hook. Okay, so the Spotify link should be something like everyone's favorite song by me, or everyone's favorite song that I've written, something like that. Simple. It takes them to, preferably it takes them to a playlist, not just your one song, but it takes them to a playlist where it's a few of your songs with other artists that you sound like or could be in the same genre as, preferably artists that are at around the same level as you. So not necessarily like, if you only have 2,000 monthly listeners, like you shouldn't necessarily put Jason Isbell on the playlist with you. You want to have other artists around the same level as you for the most part, and then throw in a Jason Isbell, throw in a Tyler Childers. Just don't make it all Tyler and Jason Isbell. Okay, I'm actually going to re-record this. Okay, so number 3 is going to be a Spotify link labeled something like everyone's favorite song that I've released. So that's a hook right there, okay? Every time you title something, whether it's an email or your on-screen text for your reels or the name of your link, the name of a link and your link in bio, it's a hook, okay? You want to make people lean in. So everyone's favorite song that I've released, that's going to make people want to click on that. It's leading with your best foot forward as well as making people curious. So they're going to want to hear that. So, and then that link should lead to a playlist that you've created, not just the single of your song, not just your album. It should be a playlist that has other artists on it as well. So if your music is in the same genre as Jason Isbell and Tyler Childers, you should make a playlist with quite a few of your best songs, plus Tyler Childers and Jason Isbell, plus our other artists that are of the same, like, that are at the same place in their career as you. So if you have like 5,000 monthly listeners, you want to add other artists on this Spotify playlist that also have like 5 to 10,000 monthly listeners. And there is a way for you to make this link right here where when they click on it, it takes them straight to Spotify and it immediately starts playing the song that you tell it to play. So the favorite song that you've ever released. And that is the best way to go about posting this Spotify playlist. So number 4 is going to be easy, just like your contact info, right? Your email, so that people can get in touch with you. Okay, that's your link in bio. And then last is going to be your top 3 pinned posts. So aside from your bio, I'd say the next most important thing here is your top 3 pinned posts. Remember that your posts and your reels can have different pinned posts. I would keep them congruent. The ones that you pin to your pinned posts and the ones that you pin to your pinned reels should be the same. Obviously, if you have a carousel pinned, that's not going to be able to pin to your reels, but that's okay. So your very first reel that should be pinned in like the top left corner should be a reel featuring your transformation story. So this is like a shorter version of the longer form YouTube video that you have in your link in bio. So I want you to think about what is the moment in your life that changed everything, or what was the moment that made you start doing music? What is the moment that made you break up with your long-term person and write the best album of your life, right? Like, what was kind of that like shadow, dark side moment that changed the trajectory of your life and set you on the journey of transformation? That is the story you want to highlight. Just like a quick storytelling tip here, especially short form storytelling. You want, again, the first split second is the most important part. So you want to start your story in that moment of being within the depths. So like being in the underworld. So you want to start the story like in the breakup, right? Or in that dark moment, and then move it from there. You don't want this to be much longer than a minute. So like write a script and make it fast. Old photos are very powerful to use here. Making this like a narrative style reel. So you're using like old posts and videos and speaking over it is probably the best way to keep people's attention and make a powerful reel that helps people feel connected to you. So the next pinned post should be a reel featuring that best song of yours with a CTA, which is a call to action that says something like, comment the name of this song, whatever that is, and I will DM you access to, could be a couple of things here. I'll DM you access to the Spotify link or a demo, an unreleased demo, anything like that, that has them they put the comment, they comment the thing that you asked them to comment. You have an automation set up so that it DMs them an opt-in link. They go through that opt-in link, they put their email address in, then they get the thing in their email, and now they're on your email list. So you definitely want that in your top pinned posts, like an option right away for them to get access and be added to your email list. In this reel, don't forget to highlight your brand. So don't just have it be any old reel, okay? Like, what's your mood? What's your brand? Make sure it's coming through strongly in this reel that features your best song. Okay, number 3 is, I've got 2 options for you, and I want this to be a carousel post, because carousels just like reach a different audience. People consume content differently. Reels, carousels, some people just even unconsciously prefer one or the other. So you want to have a carousel up here as well. One carousel option could be a group of photos. You want to have at least 3. You can go up to 20. I would say 7 is a really sweet spot. But you want these to provide like a deeper look into your life, your personality, your brand. You could update this regularly. It could be things about, 5 things that people should know about you, your values. It could be another storytelling moment. It could be about tour. It could be, about the story behind the album you just wrote. It could just be another story about you, things you want people to know about you. The other option for this carousel post is giving them context. So a really powerful thing that artists can tap into is another more far along the path artist's fan base. So, for example, let's say your music, I'll use the same example, sounds, you're in the same genre as Jason Isbell, and you're just so sure that artists or fans that love Jason Isbell would love your music. So you can tap into that fan base. You can do this in your content, and you can also do it right here in this pinned post. So it's something like, if you love Jason Isbell, you'll love my music. And that's the hook, right? That could be like the front of the carousel post, and then swipe for photos of you that would relate yourself to Jason Isbell. You would want to probably add text to these photos, about, how you're similar, but also different from an artist like Jason Isbell. So if you have all of that perfected, then you have officially optimized your Instagram, and you are just about ready to go viral and capture hundreds of thousands of followers. The next step is to set up that funnel, so that when they respond to the call to action, they are guided through all the automation and they're added into your email list. Once you have all of that set, you are viral ready, and you are ready to move your fans from cold to warm to hot, and to start your business that is going to allow you to be full-time you, okay? And not have to work any other job. So if you want to work with me on getting that all set up, getting all of this set up, optimizing funnel, coming up with offers that your fans find valuable, I am open. You can message me at anewdream.rach. You can see up here that I still haven't changed from my old Instagram. That's Oldlands. Oh well, I'm a 1-3 generator in human design, which means I make mistakes. Mistakes are learning moments. This should say A New Dream right here, but here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I am a single mom. I don't have time to re-record this. This training was amazing in every way. It doesn't need to be perfect. So I'm not going to go back and re-record this just because it doesn't say my correct Instagram name right here. Take this as a learning lesson. Your content doesn't need to be perfect, okay? If you strive for perfection, you will end up never posting anything. I didn't expect to add this lesson to you right now, but obviously it needed to come through. Thank you all for being here. Message me at anewdream.rach. You can also message me here, honestly, at Oldlands. I will respond to either one. I would love to work with you and help you get this path of freedom and fortune via your super fans set up, so you never have to deal with label bullshit ever again. You don't have to tour yourself into the ground. If you want a family, you can be home with your family and make money, real, like, provider, self-sustainable, abundant money from your gifts, from your music, from your art, from like the lessons and the teachings and the leadership that you were brought here on earth to give and to serve with. So again, thank you for being here. I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to y'all soon.